And we back with another video today. Reach inside, cultivate everyone back to talk to y'all. And today we're here to talk about mental health. We're trying to make it a normal conversation with people, with young teens, adults, because it is something that a lot of people go through that people don't usually like to talk about. So we wanted to reach out to you guys to hear some things about mental health that you may want to know, that we go through, that we talk about, that maybe we don't even know that we want to talk about with you.
Yep. So we did get some questions from our Instagram, which we'll put here at Cultivate Everyone. So we got a couple questions. And so the first one is, how were you able to shift your mindset in such a difficult and uncertain time period? Right now, we're going through the pandemic, global pandemic of coronavirus, of course. And so someone really wanted to know just how are you able to shift maybe how you're feeling during that time?
So I would say for me, it is hard once it first started to kind of get into that mindset that things may never change, and it's been so long now that you have to come accustomed to certain things that have happened through this virus, through things that's going on. So mentally, I try to keep hobbies. In the beginning of this, I tried to make like mini projects for myself to kind of keep busy. I continue to work out, play sports. I try to do things that I love, try to connect back to my childhood, things that I thought were fun, things that I thought that would motivate me to do things better. And specifically during the COVID pandemic and things like that, of course, I was having school starting. So, trying to get in that focused mindset, trying to do things that I love, things do get tough. But if you find things that really interest you, and when you get out that slump, it all does get better once, you find your way through things. And for me, that's kind of what I had to do, is kind of find my own way, graduate and do things differently. So it all came together for me. But, what about you? I mean, it could be different.
Yeah. I think it's tough because I'm naturally an extrovert, so like I like to go out and do stuff. So right now, like I had to, like you said, do things that I kind of forgot about. So I've been reading a couple of books. So I'm reading like 3 books at one time. That's been taking up a lot of my time. I've been painting, I've been drawing, I've been watching podcasts, interviews. You should do like group FaceTimes with your friends just to feel like you're around other people that's not in your house. I think that's been helping me a lot. And also the mindset of just knowing that this won't last forever and that there is a reason why you have to kind of take this alone time right now and kind of not be around the distractions. Next question. What are steps you can take to improve your mental health?
Okay. I'll say starting off, like just the bare minimum about mental health. It's so broad that it can be anything that people are going through.
That's a good point, yeah.
And I think how you can look at it in such a spectrum is, like I said before, you find things that you love, but not even just that. I think that you should try to dive into something that you're passionate about and not something new, something that's new and improved, things that you can bounce things off. If you're looking for a career, if you're looking for a new thing to do, you can bounce things off of that. Mental health is so deep in some people's lives, some people in households, that it's hard for them to speak out and reach out.
Yeah.
And it's, for me, if I go through something, or I'm going through something mentally, I try to find something within myself that I know that will help outbreak that. When I can't talk to my parents all the time, when I can't talk to her all the time, when I can't talk to my friends all the time, it's like kind of talking to yourself, understanding who you are. I think that is really an initial step that you can take, to really get yourself out the mud. Like when you're really in a dark time, or even not, and when you're in a time where you don't feel like yourself, when you're in a time where you may think that you're outcasted, if you find who you are, when I find who DeAndre is, you feel like you're unstoppable. Nobody around you affects you more than yourself. You know yourself the best, so treat yourself as good as you would treat somebody that you think knows you better than yourself.
Right. That's a good point.
It's the same, balance.
Yeah, I would say for sure, like some steps that I've taken, because like for me, I deal with anxiety. So it's like the pandemic has really heightened it. So before, when I really wasn't worried about things or whatever, it's like the pandemic, I worry about like, is my family going to be safe? Am I going to have a job? How am I going to support myself? Like you have all these worries and then you just get anxious. So I have a couple of Instagram pages that I follow that kind of help with encouraging people, and I'll drop them in like the description because they really help me out just to keep me positive and motivated. And I would say to delete all of the pages on Instagram or your social media that don't help your mental health. So if there are triggering things, like if the shade room posts things that are triggering to you, or you watch World Star too much, or is there so much negativity, you have friends or people you grew up with who's always negative, I would say take them off of your social media. That has helped me so much, because now when I go on my feed, all I see is positivity, because that's what's helped me mentally. I would say you should do that. I would say sometimes you don't want to like talk to your parents or people, and you may feel weak or you may feel awkward talking about things that you've never talked about. So I would say really like do research about it. Like go on YouTube and listen to a couple of interviews that talk about it. Like I know Janae Eiko, she talks a lot about mental health, or just, look at your favorite celebrities. They talk about it a lot all the time. So it might be cool to just see what they think about it. And, or if you want to, you should seek therapy. If I know that's not always affordable, but if you feel the need that you want to do therapy, I know a website where you can find therapists. I'll put that in the description below too. And, just reach out that way. You're not alone. Everyone's going through it. So don't feel weird trying to reach out for help.
To jump off of that, you can try to sort, a mentor, coaches for me in the past have been like, not to be like outlandish, but have been like a second dad, a second person I can look up to. Coaches have really inspired me since I've been young to, be the best version of myself. And you may think like, it's weird to talk to your coach about something like that, but they care for you just as much as, your own family would. People like that have molded you into who you are, that have taught you life lessons. You should look to them. Try at least, to reach out to see if they have anything to say. Talk to them, It's a lot you can do,
Yeah, for sure. I think that's a good point. Let's move on. You can, I'm not sure, but one question says like, what was this last year or during the pandemic the first time your mental health has been affected? Like, has this been, have you had the first experiences with certain, like, if depression, anxiety, I don't know, all these other things?
Yeah. So, during the pandemic, before, school and stuff, I had things going on myself, that sometimes I worry a lot. Like, I get nervous. I have times where that I overthink too much, and it really affects me, like, your daily life at nighttime, through the day, things like that. Like, it's certain things that go on, with myself that I try to keep to myself. Sometimes that I can't handle it alone.
Yeah.
And I try my best, of course, but it gets to a point sometimes where that my mind takes over, and, especially during the pandemic, it's sometimes hard to understand what's going on, even for, regular people.
Yeah.
People that you may look up to. I don't know, anyone, honestly. But when it travels back to me, sometimes I have trouble with that. Sometimes I block out people that maybe always want to help me. You're always angry at the world. Things in your life don't go your way. But at the end of the day, even though I had, sometimes anxiety, sometimes worry, right now I feel much better. And it comes in a point in time where I had to realize that, I may be worrying so much right now. Everything that I do, I'm just so anxious, but I feel much better. I did things that made me feel better. I went to college, even though things were going on. I did things out of my comfort zone that I'm not used to doing. And it honestly makes me feel better than how I felt before. So
yeah, I would say before the pandemic, I didn't really have any situations where like I felt like overly anxious or depressed about certain things, but the pandemic has really like showed me parts of myself that I didn't even know about, really, like as far as like usually a lot of things in my life always kind of went well. If I worked for it, I got it. And this year has really shown me that everything can be taken away from you, essentially. So it was a new change for me, and it was weird. It was something I never experienced before. So I would say, yeah, the pandemic has really heightened that. But I would say before, like the way that I am is like, I think that my problems aren't as important as others. So you would think even in the pandemic, right? Like you're like, okay, maybe I have food, but someone else doesn't, so I shouldn't complain about my situation. But no, you should be honest about how you're feeling. Like you may be anxious or depressed about something, and your feelings matter just as much as anyone else's. And so that's one thing I had to learn this year was that I need to tell people how I'm feeling and not worry about if they think it's important or not. Like it's still, if it matters to me, then it should matter to the people that I love. So
yeah.
yeah. Let's see. Next question. How to deal with anxiety regarding the coronavirus? Well, maybe I can speak on that a little bit since I have anxiety. So I would say there are a couple of exercises that you can do there. I can't think of the name right now, but they're like breathing exercises. I'll put those in the comment section as well. But it's like there are a lot of great breathing exercises when you feel yourself getting anxious, because all anxiety is just like fearing or worrying about something that didn't even happen yet. So if you can tell your mind that like, okay, I'm tripping, you know, this thing won't even happen, like let me relax, let me calm down, then those breathing exercises really help. And I would say also when you are anxious, you should like watch something that you enjoy or listen to something that you enjoy. So for me, if I'm feeling anxious, I'll like watch an interview and then it like calms me down. Some people like to listen to me like a certain artist and then that'll like calm them down. I'm trying to think of ways where it's like not expensive or like these crazy ideas because people won't do them. So those two I think really help to deal with like the anxiety. We have one last question.
Okay.
Let's see. I had trouble staying focused during this time. Do you have any tips to like stay focused? Where maybe one, there's a lot of distraction or people feeling just not motivated to do anything really.
Yeah, I just want to like it's some really small but I think effective. It's like this works for me a lot, and it's just kind of the type of person I am because I'm kind of a competitive person. If I set a goal for myself or set a smaller or like larger goals, you know, you can set small ones for semesters for school, or you can set goals later on, you know, big goals like a GPA or grade goal.
Yeah.
But if you set that goal with someone else that you talk to a lot, so it keeps you talking to somebody because it's about something you both care about.
Yeah.
But then you both see you guys doing well because you're both pushing each other to do better.
Right, like accountability.
Yeah, it's kind of like a it's kind of like a friendly competition between each other. Of course, you don't want each other to do best, but it's just to see who's going to do better.
Yeah.
And so it helped me. Last semester, staying focused on my grades and things like that. Staying focused on, you know, like I said, workout goals that I have for myself. You know, looking into the summer and things like that. Goals I have for myself that I want to do.
Yeah.
You know, if you set them, even if you make the goal for yourself, you know, you have a competition with yourself. It helps. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I definitely agree with that because even like me making a vision board has really helped me because it reminds you of the things that you want to accomplish this year. And it's not really like pressure to do them. It's more of just when you feel yourself getting distracted or feeling like you don't have anything to do that day, you can look at that board and be like, you know what, I do remember that I wanted to like get more fit or read this book or something like that. I think it's a good idea. That wraps up the questions. I think it's important just for Black like young individuals to really speak on this because I think especially when people look at me, they think that like I have it all together or I'm always happy and stuff. So I really wanted to just be candid on here to know that I do go through things. DeAndre goes through things. Like we all go through things, and we want to just be here to support one another. And so we really want to use this platform to do just that and uplift people each day as much as we can.
Yeah. So. I just think, you know, keep yourself motivated, keep yourself happy, and we don't want this video to be. We're trying to like reach out. We don't want you guys to think that, you know, your problems are just wasted because we're just talking about it. You know, it's actually something that we want you guys to improve on, things that you want to do better. This video is uplifting. You know, so just keep that in mind, you know, stay positive, stay happy. And we got some things coming up, so you want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah. So the month of February?
Yeah.
So February 16th, we will have a mental health advocate go on Instagram Live with me. So they'll join me on live to answer some questions that people may have specifically for Black Black young people who may be struggling with mental health. She will be there to answer questions, and I'll have some questions for her already. So I think that'll be super cool for y'all to join and to look forward to, because we just want to keep the conversation going and normalize that this is something that we could talk about every day. It doesn't have to just be something like that you just worry about in your own head. Like, we want you to be more vocal about it and really change the stigma.
Yeah.
Or erase the stigma more so. So that should be very, very exciting. We'll have more information about that later on.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section. We'll be glad to give more tips and tricks, because I have all the tips, because I look for tips all the time with helping with my anxiety. So yep, I think that wraps it up.
That's it. I think that's it. Just check out our socials. We might have new things coming also. Just follow our Instagram, look at our Facebook. We're looking to make a Twitter soon,
Yes.
Just, keep in check with us. We're always doing something. We're always trying to inspire, do more, do better for our community. So just stay with us, because we're going to stay with you. So
that's it. All right.